Hello there, math people. We are taking a look today at equivalent expressions. And so what we want to do is we want to go through and we're going to simplify each of these expressions and see which ones that they match up with. And this should be a fairly quick lesson, so let's just get right started. All right, so which expression is equivalent to c plus 0.87c minus 0.48? Right. First of all, we want to make sure that we combine our like terms, look for our like terms, and I'm like, okay, well there's a positive c, and then there's positive 0.87c, and you see this last term, well that's not the same, right? Because it doesn't have a variable attached to it, so those are not like terms. And so what I can do then is I'm going to combine c plus 0.87c. Now, the thing is, remember, when you have a variable all by itself, we can assume that that is a 1. 1c. And then when we combine those terms, we can say, oh, well, that's I'm just going to add those numbers together. So that's going to be 1, hold this over here, 1 plus 0.87. Now, the thing about this, remember, this 1 doesn't have a decimal. And so we have to make sure that we add a decimal at the end of it, and we line up our decimals when we add. So we have 1 point, and then we have 0.87. We add those together. And then, of course, we're going to add some zeros to block everything up. So 0 plus 7 is 7, 0 plus 8 is 8, and 1 plus 0 is 1. So 1c plus 0.87c is 1.87c. And then we only have this other term all by itself, so we'll just bring it down, minus 0.48. And what does that match up with? Oh, we can see it matches up with that one right there. Because we can't combine 1.87c with 0.48 because they are not like terms. Okay, well, let's go to the next one. Let's combine like terms and see what we can do with this one. All right, so we have 3.9k minus 1.9 plus 1.9k minus 5.7. So let's combine our like terms. Remember, like terms are the ones that have the same variable attached to the same power. So we have 3.9k, and I see a positive 1.9k. Remember, that sign that's in front of the number goes with it, so we're going to combine those two. 3.9k plus 1.9k. And then other terms that we have negative 1.9, and we have negative 5.7. So, negative 1.9, negative 5.7. All right, well, we're going to add up our k terms, 3.9 plus 1.9, so 3.9, 1.9. Those are easy to line up the decimals. 9 plus 9 is 18, carry the 1, and 4 and 5 decimal here, so that's 5.8k. And then we have negative 1.9, and we have negative 5.7. And so remember, when we are doing this, we need to keep this in mind. We're going to add the opposite, because that's what subtraction is. We have negative 1.9 plus negative 5.7. So that's why I'm adding these two together. And when we add two negatives together, adding two negatives just makes more negatives. 9 plus 7 is 16, carry the 1, and 5 and 1 and 1 is 7, and we keep the decimal there, so negative 7.6, negative 7.6. So when we are all finished with this, we have 5.8k minus 7.6. And look, there's our happy little match right there. All right, and here we are to our last one. Let's match up these expressions, combine our like terms first. I see the very first term is a negative 0.91p, And over here I see another p, so I'm going to combine those together. So negative 0.91 p plus p. And then it looks like we just have this single term here, and that is plus 0.51. Now, remember, when we are combining like terms, if it's a single variable by itself, that's a 1. So we can add negative 0.91p plus 1p. But look at this. We're adding a negative to a positive. And what's the rule when we add negative to positive? Yes, that's correct. You can't add two terms together if they're, one's positive, one's negative. You have to subtract their absolute values and keep the sign of the larger value. So 1 is larger than 0.91. So we're going to have to subtract 1. Make sure to put the decimal point after it because there isn't one. And 0.91. We're going to subtract those absolute values. Make sure to add the extra zeros to block everything up. You can't subtract 0 minus 1, so I have to borrow. So borrow from the next, I can't. Borrow from the next, 1 becomes 0. 0 becomes 10, but I have to borrow from that 10, so 10 becomes 9. And this 0 becomes 10 now. So 10 minus 1 is 9. 9 minus 9 is 0. Bring down my decimal. 0 minus 0 is 0. So 0.91, negative 0.91p plus positive p is positive 0.09p. Don't forget that variable. And then we just add that to the 0.51. And we are done. So which does that match up with? Oh, looky here. There it is. It matches up with that one, 0.09p plus 51. There you have it. We are good to go. Aren't you excited? I know I am. Hey, have a great day. Don't forget to be awesome. Keep combining like terms.